Is the 2023 BMW 760i XDrive the new undisputed king of the executive sedan? I'll tell you what, BMW has gone a long way at redesigning the 7 Series for 2023. This does not look like any other BMW we have ever seen or any other BMW that is currently available. It has a completely different exterior look, and really the closest you can probably come to comparing is the new X7 and the fact that you have the separation between the daytime running lights and the headlights. So a very similar look here, but obviously BMW really working this out. A very nice look here with the turn signal indicators. People always talk about how nobody uses their turn signal indicators with their BMWs. Well, they're here whether they're used or not, and they look fantastic. And you do have the obvious functional side air curtains here. With this particular package on this model, you're going to have a lot of blacked out trim. It's going to be gloss black, but that's going to look good. It looks elegant. It looks right. The kidney grille right here, definitely going to, again, look nice. Active grille shutters to help in feeding air into that engine bay for the 4.4 liter engine that is under the hood. We'll give you a little more information on that in just a little bit. Don't worry. Obviously, going to have the turn signal indicators built into these power heated and folding side view mirrors. And something that's new for 2023 here, you don't have a handle that you're actually going to pull on or anything like that. There's actually a pad underneath here. There's no way I can show that to you, but these doors actually have an electric assist. So very, very interesting how that works. As far as tire sizes go, 255 on the front, and then you're gonna have a little bit wider tire on the rear to get maximum traction, obviously, here, even though this is an all-wheel drive vehicle. 285 on the rear, 21-inch wheels, a very nice look. And then when it comes to cargo space, there's plenty back here, and obviously everything is power. But let's dive into the interior just a little bit here before we start just our regular look around the vehicle. We're going to get to everything in great detail. The only thing that I'm really disappointed about here is the fact that you don't have that new screen back here. I believe it's 41 inches that comes down and allows rear seat passengers to watch whatever they want to. There's so many options there, but it's okay that it's not there, not a big deal. You might be saying to yourself, well, do you have to get that if you get the executive package? No, you don't. And just a quick look around here within the interior, some of the best ambient lighting, if not the absolute best I've ever seen. But let's take a look a little more in depth at what we have here, as we typically do here on my videos. I did want to show you real quick how easy it is to close these doors. It just pretty much just closes itself. It does have the soft closing function there, as you can see. I'm going to go ahead and close the trunk right here. We've got plenty going on right there. Give you a good look at the overall taillight housing that looks great. I'll tell you what, BMW has done some awesome work here, even with your exhaust finishers right here. Good look there. You have a little bit of a balance of the gloss black and the chrome. We'll close one more of these doors up real quick. And I tell you what, you probably got a glimpse of the screen that is built into the door on both sides here. There is just so much here. But obviously, to have the ultimate executive sedan, you need to have the ultimate engine under the hood. Okay, here under the hood, a little bit closer look. I know we've seen it already just a little bit, but it's the 4.4 liter twin turbo V8. It makes 536 horsepower. The torque numbers come in at 556. It's mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. You do have the adaptive air ride suspension at all 4 corners, so you can change the height of the vehicle, and it's going to ride very well, obviously. And you'll notice you have these little pieces right here, 4 on each side, signifying that it is an 8, a V8 engine under the hood. 0 to 60 for a car of this size, I think is rather impressive at an estimated 4.1 seconds. Top speed likely governed, I would imagine, at 155 miles per hour. And then you do have the rear wheel steering that's going to help improve the turning radius and the ability to turn the car. It also has the 48 volt mild hybrid system. So what's going to happen with that is that is going to eliminate the need to have a traditional starter. Let's take some of our stuff out of here real quick so I can show you. That is here under the floor. If I can lift that up, let's see, that's kind of hard to do one-handed, so I may not be able to do it like that, but I'll get you a shot in just a minute. But what that does is it means when you start the vehicle, you don't hear the sound of a typical starter because it's using that mild hybrid 48 volt battery to actually start the car, among other things. And there we go. That was not easy to lift, so there was really no place to grab onto it, but I got it up. As you can see, there is that 48 volt battery I was telling you about. I told you it was here, and now you get to see it. By the way, if you're wondering about what the remote looks like, well, there you go. Everything pretty easy to figure out as far as what does what. This is actually your remote start button. You push that 3 times and the vehicle will start. By the way, here are your MPGs. 18 city, 26 highway, 21 combined, and 4.8 gallons of gas per every 100 miles you drive. An important point here you might want to know about is that premium gas is required for this engine combination. Cargo capacity comes in at 13.7 cubic feet. You can see that you can fit quite a bit in here. And you also have, let's see if I can do this one-handed, the first aid kit that's going to be down here. Nice little storage area right there. You know for sure what that is. But I tell you what, the most important part of this car is going to be what we find within the interior. I'm gonna go hit the ignition and get things started up because, wow, it's amazing in here. You do have the panoramic sunroof right there. But as you can see, it's just a stationary piece of glass. You can't open that. And I don't know that that's that big of a deal to most people, but in case you were wondering, now you know. I'm gonna hit the button to start the engine and watch what happens. All right, as we start our way into the interior, nice size door bin right here. You're gonna have some of those traditional features of a traditional vehicle, right? So you gotta have a door bin where people can store their snacks and all that good stuff back here. But I tell you what, this is amazing. And this isn't the top of the line as far as all the options go. You don't have the pillow headrests, and like I said, you don't have that 41-inch screen, but there is still a lot here. And for people who might say, well, I would kind of like to have something that maybe isn't quite so much, well, here is your option. And so as you can see, you have the air conditioning vents located here. You're going to be able to adjust those, or your rear seat passengers will. And obviously there are controls back here on the rear for turning that air on and off, depending on if somebody wants that blowing on them. But ultimately, it will be controlled right here. Check that out. I mean, it is so cool. Everything is controlled here as far as fan speed goes. You've got the heated seats back here. Let's see what we've got. So you can turn it down to low, you can turn it to off, you can turn it to high. I'm not doing that today because it's in the 70s here in Northwest Louisiana, but there is a lot going on. You can adjust the radio volume back here. I mean, it's crazy what all is here. You can literally do anything you want to from this area, and it's not only here on one side, but on the other side as well. So that's why it's really called an executive sedan, because it's meant more or less to be kind of like a limousine. And I'm gonna tell you what, look at the space that I have here. It is unbelievable back here. I feel like if I said hello, I'd probably hear an echo or something like that. And so, boy, I tell you what, so much going on here, so many different features. I literally can't go through every single little thing, but you can see what you have here as far as the volume goes. Trust me, there's a lot going on here. It's unbelievable to see the technology that BMW has put into this vehicle. And this would be how you would control that screen if it was here, that 41-inch screen, from right here on either side of this area of the vehicle here in the rear seat area. But you also have the fold-down armrest, very comfortable and nice high-end materials. I mean, what else would you expect to see here? I've seen some vehicles that don't have a console in the front that's as deep as this is. So there's a lot of space in there, quite a bit going on. Obviously, there are cup holders right here, as you can see. I just pushed the button right there to get that out. and that's very easy to deal with, obviously. So if you're wondering, well, how could you not have cup holders in the rear of a vehicle like that? Well, you do. So that's good. Let's see here if we can get, yep, you can get some fingerprints on the gloss black, it looks like, maybe just a little bit. Yep, it's definitely showing up. So if you have kids, you might want to be aware of that. And you even have things as simple as the seat back pockets right here. There's still some really common things here too. Even though I would never refer to this vehicle as being common by any means, there is a lot here. Even the speakers, the way they're designed, it just looks elegant. It looks high-end. What would you expect? And you don't just have the two air conditioning vents right here. You have two more, one on each side, one here, obviously one over here for the passenger side. And then even the oh crap handles, because with all that horsepower and torque under the hood, well, your passengers might be hanging on if you decide to start driving spiritedly. By the way, for you parents out there that have the little ones that are still in the car seats, you do have a latch system here, and all you have to do is lift up on this area right here, and it will actually lock in place. This piece actually locks it in place. There are the latches. And the good news is that you don't have anything that you have to remove and keep track of for this to work. And then when you're finished, you just unhinge all of that. It goes right back in place. It looks perfect. And something else I wanted to show you right here, blinds. So you might be wondering about the shades back here. Well, here we go. Here's one for the rear. And I'll tell you what, it will really conceal things away. Let's just put everything up real quick. It's as easy as just literally one touch right there. All you do is touch that area of the screen, and it either goes up or it goes down. Let's see if we can do this one. And then something that I thought was interesting here, typically when you have a shade for your panoramic sunroof, it goes from rear to front and front to rear. But watch this. I'm going to hit this right here. Let's see if we can get that to work. Come on. We'll get that to close. There's what we want to do. And watch, it actually comes from the front. That is just unusual. I've never seen that before in any vehicle that I've reviewed in the past. By the way, if you're wondering how do you open these doors, well, you just push the button right there and then just push the button or the door open basically like that, and it takes care of it for you. So here with the passenger side on the front seat, we're going to see, again, very nice materials here, everything nice and soft, nice and elegant. You're going to have everything you would expect to see here. Seat memory, here are your seat adjustments, obviously in the shape of the seat, so you know what you're adjusting. Pretty simple to figure out there. A very clean door panel here. Not too much going on, but still all of the functionality that is necessary. Here is the door bin, a little bit larger. Very nice there, and obviously very comfortable front seating. Good bolstering, that way when driving spiritedly, everybody stays in place. And then we'll go ahead and real quick, give you a quick look at the door sill there. It still has the protective plastic on there, so we're not gonna take that off. Let's take a look at what we have here with the front of the vehicle. Again, hard to tell, but you have the ambient lighting all through this area right here. In fact, it's actually very easy to tell if I turn on the hazard lights. Now you can see it a lot better. That definitely works out much better. And obviously, I think this is the best I've seen ambient lighting wise. For so long, Mercedes-Benz really seemed to be the king in that area. Maybe not so much now. I'm not completely sure what to think about that. Tell me what you think. Do you think Mercedes-Benz does it better? Or maybe it's BMW now. So, you can have your wireless charging pad right there. You can conceal away your cup holders right here, or you can reveal them. I like the way that BMW has done this. Two separate areas where they're concealed away. That way, if somebody wants to use one and the other person doesn't, well, no big deal. And all of the controls for the vehicle right here, as far as starting the engine, here is the shifter right here, and everything else, volume right there for the radio, pretty simple to figure out. Now, if you want to use kind of a trackpad of sorts type of system, well, there you go. You can see what I'm doing. See if I can get back here where I can give you the full view. You can see how I'm moving that around. You can make selections and work your way around on that screen with absolutely no problem. Now, here's something that's interesting. Have you ever been in a vehicle with a heated console lid? You've got the Bombay doors right here, well, they're heated, believe it or not. So that's a nice feature, something I've never seen before, I don't believe, in any vehicle that I can remember. And then you're going to have your connectivity down there, as you can see, and a little bit of light here to help out when it's dark. Nice felt material right there, and a lot of space within that center console. There is quite a bit going on here, but we're just getting started. You can already see the angle here, how this is kind of turned towards the driver and everything. It's all driver focused, a very exciting system to work with. Watch this. Now, I could push the button right here or right up here. See this? Watch what happens. It looks like an open door on a car. Well, that's because it is. And then when you get ready to close the door, let's see if we can get to that. A little bit of a glare, so kind of hard to see. But there you go. Kind of interesting. I almost feel like it Mr. Bean or something like that. Like I could just sit here just opening and closing and opening and closing and opening and closing, but I won't do that. And while it's really hard to see the air conditioning vents, if you want to change airflow, the air comes right under here. That's what this is for. In fact, it might be a little bit easier to see right here. So right now it's closed. I moved it all the way to 0, and then you can move it all the way over here back to open again. The air is flowing again. And so it's pretty interesting to see what all is here. It's pretty much just a continuous screen as far as touch screens go everywhere. It's really interesting. There's no really physical buttons up there that you use. It's just more like a touchpad, kind of like the screen is up here. And before I hop into the driver's seat, well, gotta do that just one more time. And we'll reach underneath here, hit the pad, and let the door open up. So we're gonna take care of showing you what's on the driver's side door. A lot of what we saw on the passenger side door, but obviously more accessories. All the controls for the windows. You can adjust those power side view mirrors, open and close the trunk. All that good stuff is there. And once again, the same thing here that we saw on the other side. In fact, I'm gonna just hop in here, and guess what I'm going to do? It's like being a child or something here. I'm just having so much fun with the buttons here. Well, that's not a button, is it? I kind of explained that earlier and just totally went against what I said. Imagine how comfortable the steering wheel is here. Has the haunches right here, just the right place to put your hands and be nice and comfortable. And obviously with the screen here. Digital, high-end, looks fantastic. You can go through all sorts of information. You can see what's going on with the vehicle. Wow, there is so much here. You can customize that. You're going to have your M logo down here on the steering wheel. Obviously, everything looks really nice. And steering wheel mounted paddle shifters here. But I like what's over here. That says boost right there. What exactly does that mean? If you hold that, it will actually give you all of the available horsepower for the vehicle. I mean, how cool is that? If you enjoy driving fast, well, guess what? It's not that hard to do. They make that very simple, and so much going on here that you can do. There's just an amazing amount of information here. So you can go through here and look for your fuel stations, places to stop, all that kind of stuff. And you can even talk to BMW. Hey, BMW. Hey, BMW. I'm cold.
Okay, I'm raising the temperature, so it will be more comfortable right away. Let me know if it gets too warm for you.
There's practically no end to the commands you can give there. So a lot going on for sure. I mean, what can you not find here? And here's the thing. There is a lot going on here, and I apologize for the glare, but there is a lot going on here. A lot of different apps that you can go through and use. So it takes a little bit of time. It's not that it's complicated. It's just that there is so much here that you can use. It takes a little bit of time to learn all of it. So a really interesting experience here within the interior. Boy, I tell you what, everything just looks perfect. It really is kind of the floating touch screen of sorts, or the floating infotainment screen, and the driver's instrument cluster here. So not really inset into the dashboard. I think that gives it a very nice, clean look. Overall, I must say, very impressed here. Obviously, if you're wondering, how do you control the speed for the windshield wipers and all that kind of stuff? Well, it's all done right here. And then there's that thing that a lot of people say Mercedes, or excuse me, I'm sorry, I totally screwed up there. BMWs don't have, but sometimes they say it about Mercedes as well. Turn signal lever. Look at that. It actually works too. So next time you see a BMW driver driving down the road and they're not using their blinkers, well, it's not because it isn't here or installed by BMW, in case you were curious. And what does the horn sound like? I'd say that sounds appropriate for what we have here. Now, I don't know how good of a shot I can give you of the heads-up display. I think you can see that on there. I don't know how well, though. Unfortunately, these GoPros don't pick them up as well as I would like them to, but it is there. It is very bright, very functional. Obviously, you can adjust that. One thing I am a little surprised here that's not here is that there is no rear view camera mirror. So if you did have that 41-inch screen right here, when that thing folds down, it completely blocks out the mirror. And maybe you have an experienced chauffeur who knows how to drive with their side view mirrors, which is not that terribly hard to do. And obviously you have safety features here, driving aids, that will help with that kind of thing. But just one of those things to think about, but obviously very impressive to say the least. Now, I did mention the fact that you don't have the rear view camera mirror, but you do have multiple views around the vehicle as far as what the cameras allow you to see. So several different angles here from pretty much any angle you want. It is impressive to see what's here. Very impressive and very clear. I tell you what, these are some of the clearest image quality shots that I've seen on any vehicle. Not that it's a big surprise here from BMW. And speaking of driving aids, here's how you're going to get to those driving aids. And what exactly are they? Driver assistance? Well, as you can see, you can make adjustments to the safety and warnings, parking, driving. It's all here. Quite a bit going on that you can use. So you can see what's there as far as you can reset the recommended settings. You've got the forward collision mitigation, lane departure warning, steering intervention. There is a lot going on here within the interior of this vehicle that will help you to stay safe out on the road when you're driving. And I'm not covering every single little thing that's here. I mean, you can see what all is available as far as the sounds and all that kind of stuff. Driving right here, speed limit assistance, and then the distance control. You can see it all right there on the screen. Hopefully, I apologize that there is a little bit of a glare, but it's just this time of day and what's here. But obviously, there is no shortage of what is here. How about right here with the drivetrain, drive-off support, parking brake, if you're going to need tire change, if you live in an area where it snows. I mean, what isn't here? I'm kind of wondering. I'm looking around for a sink to turn on if I need to wash my hands or get a drink of water or something like that. Almost like the movie Johnny English, where at the end of the movie the drink holders pop out and it's pouring whatever was coming out of there. I don't remember what it was. If you haven't seen that movie, go watch it and you'll figure it out. And I don't know if the glare is going to let you see it, but what happens when you press My Modes right there? Here are the modes. Look at this. Look at what BMW has done here. The graphics are phenomenal as to what you can do right here with all of the different driving modes that are available that you can choose from. I mean, it's absolutely insane. You have digital art that apparently is to do, I guess, with ambient lighting, even though I can't really see that right now, but it is what it is, efficient. You've got so much going on here with the vehicle. Wow. Sport, you've got personal, but I just love the graphics. I hope that is showing up well on the screen for you to see, and then you can go into personal if you want to. You can obviously personalize everything. That is amazing to see what all is down here. I would love to see what this looks like at night. Not sure that we're going to get that chance, but who knows? So tell me down in the comments section, do you think that the 2023 BMW 760i XDrive is the new undisputed king of luxury executive sedans? I'm curious to know what your answers are. Tell me why you answered the way that you did. Always interested to know. Gotta say a special thanks to my friends at BMW for loaning me this model for the day, and I really appreciate each and every one of you for being kind enough to take the time to watch and allow me to give you the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn about other vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I'll see you there.